Good morning, everyone. Today we're going to talk about feet. One of the best things about being a boutique sort of artisan product developer is that you get to experiment with all kinds of funny custom parts to solve the tiniest little problems that most people would never bother to solve. So we're going to talk here about the kinds of rubber feet in use on Svalbard today and what's coming in the future as soon as I get some parts fully vetted and some design tweaks made. So yeah, let's jump in. So this is a typical Svalbard case, the bottom face of it. This is a scrap piece that I just used for testing stuff. And the current feet, whether they're clear or black, are these rubber dome guys. I've also used little hockey puck shaped ones that are about 2 millimeters thick. These are a little bit thicker, so they're inset in to give as little stack height as possible while still taking up any slack that comes from natural warpage of the parts. The reality with plastic parts is, especially wide, flat things like this, is that they will warp to some degree no matter what they are, and ABS parts will warp a little bit more. So you have to have something that can take up a little bit of compression if you're going to have 4 points to rest on, which is what's necessary for a Svalbard or Datahand style keyboard. So one of the questions I've been asking myself is, how can I take the height of that down and make this assembly more reliable? Because these are stick-ons, and they work, but they can come off, and if you want to replace them, it's easy, but it's just not the most elegant solution. So I went out looking for a variety of different solutions to resolve this, and here's one. This is an off-the-shelf part. It's a little pop-in foot that goes into a hole in a plate, and the cone section on it here acts as a retaining feature. So this pops in, towards my right hand here, and then locks into place on the plate. So this is a tuning plate that I made to see what thicknesses would work. We have 1.6, 1.8, and 2 millimeter thick here, I think. So I'm just going to push this into this hole. Pop. Now it's in. And you can trim the back of that if you need to provide a little bit less stack height above it. So this is a pretty good foot. It's about 2 millimeters thick, so it adds about 2 millimeters of height. And if you need to take up a lot of warpage, that's actually pretty useful because you can trim them a little bit with a knife if you have to. But that wasn't quite good enough for me in terms of the experimentation anyway. I wanted to see how small I could get. So I commissioned some custom parts right here that you can probably just barely see. I'll put this on my fingertips so you can kind of see the profile of it. It's a little plug with some flanges on it. I don't know that this is necessarily the final shape, but these are 6 millimeters wide. The post is 3 millimeters wide and has a tiny little hole in it so it can squish a little bit more even. I don't know if that feature is going to remain. And these ones just pop into a 3 millimeter hole basically, and I put a little CA glue on them, and I did this last night to see if they'd work. And they're definitely not going anywhere, which is pretty cool. Now, this isn't necessarily, at being 1 millimeter high, enough extra sort of slack in terms of compression to deal with a badly warped ABS case part, but I think it will be good enough across the board. So we'll see. I'm going to try out a mix of these on the next few units, and we'll see what happens. But generally, I'm pretty excited about it, and it's just so much fun. I get to go and call up a vendor and say, hey, I need a custom rubber foot, and work with them to design a tool and figure out what's necessary. And then, a couple of weeks later, poof, these magical parts show up in a big bag. So that's been really enjoyable. And it's something that I can take time to do precisely because of viewers like you, and particularly customers like you, who buy kits and full builds from me here at Svalbard. And I just hope to be able to continue doing this. So keep watching. I'll be putting out more videos over the coming weeks, and I hope you enjoy riding along.